Hello.
Oh.
Oof. Oof.
Molly, you're frozen.
Oh. Someone just froze for me, so I'm so sorry if I was off.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm so sorry. That was really funny.
Everyone froze. Okay.
Yeah, Molly's just
back.
staring at the screen like...
Yeah, it just looked like she was sitting there like... It's like...
And then it was oh.
My internet's dumb.
That's fine. Stop making fun of her. It's okay.
No, it's not her fault.
okay.
Sorry.
Welcome back to Nerdmageddon
Oh,
D&D
no.
edition.
Okay. So, where we last ended was you guys went and talked to the headmaster with Dr. T, and she's basically just like, yeah, we'll let you guys stay here for one night, and then you have to go. Because, like, you're not paying tuition at this college here. So,
Not anymore.
yeah. So, it's been a couple hours now, and it's about 3 in the morning. It's, like, really late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And Jensen, you're awake.
Yes, I have stirred from my sleep. That what I saw in the headmaster's office has really kept me up. So I rise from my sleeping quarters, brush myself off, and I go to walk to the door, but then I hesitate, and then I quickly turn around and run over to Molly's character. I don't remember her name now.
Anna.
No,
Anna.
Jensen doesn't remember.
No.
Oh.
The name she's given was Althea.
He doesn't know any of this.
Yeah,
He hasn't put in the
technically-
effort to remember any of your guys' names yet, so...
Also, I don't think I ever introduced myself
No, I don't think
to
he
your
did.
character, so I don't think you have a name.
He very quietly, using his light-footedness of being a halfling, walks over to Anna and just kind of, and he hesitates for a moment, then he lightly kind of shakes her on the shoulder and is like, hey, wake up, I need your help with something.
I think she's still asleep.
More like you're gonna end up with a dagger to your throat.
That's why I'm asking to giving you an opportunity to do something like that. So I shake your head, hey, I need your help robbing something.
Anna jerks awake and pulls a knife from under her pillow and holds it at his throat.
Good night to you. Hey, there's something in the headmaster's office I would really like to acquire. I was wondering if you wanted to help me steal it.
Why didn't you just ask me earlier? I wouldn't have even gone to sleep.
Well, because I was being watched by the creepy wizard lady way too much before going to sleep, and then I kind of dozed off myself. So, but come on. Plus, it's better to do it late at night, and it's late right now. I would appreciate you pulling the dagger now.
I really want you guys to get caught.
Oh, there's
It
a
would make
potential
it
for it.
It's
There is a potential for it.
make it just so interesting.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens.
So you guys get all of your equipment together
Mhm.
and ready to go sneak down to the headmaster's office.
Do we need to stealth for that?
You can. It's not going to be important though, just because everybody else is asleep, and I
Okay.
mean, like, night classes aren't really a thing here. So
We arrive at the door.
yes.
I glance up at the handle, then I look over at Anna, and I just kind of gesture at it with my head.
Roll my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do I know if it's locked or not, or do I need to test?
You go ahead and test, because you
Okay.
didn't see anybody lock it before you left.
So I, lightly place my hand and kind of jiggle it slightly.
It has a little bit of give, but you see that it gets caught. So there seems to be some sort of lock there, but it's not a very strong one.
I'd like to pick the lock then.
Go for it.
So 23.
Ooh.
Yeah, it takes you less than a second to pick this lock. You just pull out the pick, jab it in real quick once, and it just opens.
Does a 23
Wow,
hit?
I'm really good at that. Really good at that. Wow. Anyway,
So,
using my smaller size, I kind of squeeze in past her and I glance in the room and look around to see if there's anybody or anything in the room.
looking around, you just see the same faint bluish glow around the room that you saw earlier, but you notice that none of the candles are lit right now. So you assume that he's out of his office or he is asleep somewhere. Everything else seems to be in place. There's not really much else to it that you can see.
Okay. So, again, being quiet, I walk over to where I had seen the scroll earlier. I see it again. How high above my head is it?
It's about 4 feet.
4 feet. So just out of arm's reach, or if I reached up, could I get it?
It's a little out of arm's reach.
So, yeah, I'm gonna first try to jump up and grab it. So,
Okay.
God.
Anna, can you make a perception check for me real quick?
yeah, I am completely focused on this right now. So,
And Corbett, what did you roll for your athletics?
oh, I didn't roll for athletics.
Yeah,
so.
go ahead and roll for athletics.
Ooh, that is a 22.
Yeah, you jump up and you feel your finger kind of brush it, and you feel it come closer. So now at this point, you could probably jump again and grab onto it.
Okay, I didn't actually grab it. I just moved it closer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump up and do it again.
Okay. Molly, what'd you roll?
27.
27. Okay. As you're looking around the room, making kind of keeping an eye out, you notice that next to Jensen, you see
Oh no.
purple robes
Oh no.
Oh no.
and bronze scales
Oh no.
and a long white beard.
Oh no.
Jensen, what'd you
hide.
roll? What'd you roll on that other check?
24.
God.
24. Okay. You jump up, and as you jump up, you see a hand come over and grab it off the shelf.
I slowly turn around and glance behind me at the figure.
It's
And it's
the
gone.
headmaster.
You'll deserve this. I'm just saying.
God,
I immediately go, oh my goodness, this is not, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I was sleepwalking again. I'm sorry. I was having this dream where I was trying to, my older sibling was holding something over my head. I'm so
Mr.
sorry. I do that a
Knackles.
lot. I'm terribly sorry.
Mr. Knackles. It's quite all right. I knew you would be back for this.
How do you know my name?
We share a very similar patron.
My face immediately pales some.
Come, sit with me.
Okay.
You too, miss. And he looks over at you, Molly. So you both come and sit down at this table.
I'm still pale in the face. I'm very confused about all of this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like,
So the two who are still asleep,
Yes.
I want you both to roll a d20 for me and tell me what your numbers are.
this.
I'm scared. Me too.
What's gonna
11.
happen?
11? Okay.
Yeah.
Many things I was expecting, not this.
5?
5.
Oh no.
Okay. So, Corey,
Yeah.
as you are deep in your sleep, you start seeing this part of your dream, this constant thing popping up.
Mhm.
You keep seeing a helix shell.
Okay.
Keep seeing it pop up in different places of your dream, to the point of where it almost seems like everything is turning into a helix shell.
Okay.
And you wake up after
Mhm.
that. Kenzie,
Oh God.
You're having a really nice dream.
Yes.
Does she have a pet cat named Dave?
Yes. and as you're holding this cat, talking with it, it looks up at you and it's just like, go to the headmaster's office. And you immediately wake up.
Huh? Is it like a super deep bassy voice too? Like
Yeah.
go to the headmaster's
Super deep.
office.
Little tiny kitten. It's like a Morgan Freeman voice.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman.
absolutely.
Morgan Free kitten.
Oh.
So you two are now awake and kind of... Kenzie knows she has to go to the
Headmaster.
headmaster's office. Corey, you're not sure. You just woke up and you keep thinking about like, oh, there's like a shell. That
Yeah.
it's like, what is that all about?
Maybe it has something to do with our quest.
I just have this feeling that we may want to go to the headmaster's office.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he'd be sleeping at this point.
Just trust me on this, okay?
Okay, I'll trust you on this.
Okay.
All right, so
Not the cat breed?
it was too good not to do. So back in the headmaster's office, the three of you are sitting at this table, and the headmaster is talking to Jensen, and he's like, "You see, I knew that you came here from a less than fortunate situation.
You could say that. 10 years in a prison cell.
And believe me, I really have no idea who you are. I really don't know who you are. But because of my studies in divination, I knew you would be coming here."
Right. Magic mumbo jumbo. It's
Yes.
cheating on life.
And I noticed, as you were entering my office, your eyes locked with the Navarro scroll.
Yes. It is of interest to me.
Yes. And from that moment, I knew that you were connected to the Navarro family.
Yes. They are partially the reason why I was locked away and the reason I am out now.
Yep. This scroll here was tucked away a few years ago, mainly because I didn't want anything to do with it. However, seeing now that you have an interest in it and that you are connected to them, I feel it is only right for you to read it.
Oh.
He kind of slides the scroll over to you.
I gingerly take it. But in the motion, it's kind of like slow at first, but then as soon as my hands are on it, I pull it away, just...
Yeah. No. He's like, I'm not trying to trick you. Don't worry.
Little, like, goblin action there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. Is it, like, sealed with a wax seal? Is that how I knew it was theirs? So.
Yes, it is. So it's a light papyrus scroll wrapped in, like, a seafoam green ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a wax seal on it that has a spiral helix shell on it as the symbol.
Okay. So I looked at it for a little bit, and I kind of glanced at it like, so you want me to read it?
Absolutely. I already know what's in it.
Of course you do. So I
Are you
Gently.
reading out loud?
I gently break the seal, and then I open it up. I'm trying to keep it to myself, though, so I can just read it privately.
Okay.
Try sending it to me, what it is?
Yeah, I will. You two come down to the headmaster's office, and you see them all sitting around a table, and Jensen's just kind of sitting there reading this thing.
What did you two do?
Headmaster, I'm so so sorry. I did
He holds up his
not-
hand at you, and he's just
I
like,
should have expected it.
"It's quite all right."
You can't prove I did anything.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm typing
You
stuff
already
out
have
for the
copies.
scroll.
Yeah. As Molly says that, I just kind of mutter in a halfling. I'm not sure if anybody understands me, but I mutter in halfling. I can prove that you stole something from in here. I mutter it in a halfling, though, so I'm not sure if anybody other than...
No one saw me steal anything.
I only know Common, Elvish, and
You wouldn't know I
Dwarvish.
said it unless you can speak it. You would have just known I muttered something in halfling.
Yeah, no, out of character.
Yeah,
No one knows I stole anything.
I know you.
You stole something?
I said that out of character.
Oh, I know.
So, I don't remember what I stole anymore.
It was some...
Oh, right, I stole a rock.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
rock.
yeah.
It's a rock! A rock!
I know Dwarvish.
I turned to them and I'm like, you two are in so much trouble with me.
I was just taking a stroll when I ran into Knackles.
Deception for me. Deception, please.
I was expecting you to have me roll that too against the headmaster, but he knew, so...
He knew. He already knows. The headmaster's not saying anything at this point because
Yeah.
he's just kind of like watching you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel
rolled
like
a
your face,
22.
What'd you say?
22.
22? Yeah, Corey, you believe
Okay.
her.
Wait, we
I
can't
don't like your
we
face,
can't,
Molly.
we can't roll to like see through her deception.
It's just
It's too
Story.
good. It's above a
After
20.
I finish, I roll it back up kind of tightly, and I just kind of sit there quietly for a moment.
You doing okay there, Knackles?
Debatable.
I'm not sure
Fair
if you
enough.
quite understand what the scroll was asking of me.
Do I understand what the scroll was asking of him?
Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
A 10.
10. You get the gist. You understand the words auto and bio, which is weird
Mm-hmm.
because those things don't mix.
Mm-mm.
And he is sort of like, allow me to walk it through you for you. See, they were asking me to conduct research on blood binding, which is something that is long forgotten at this point. Many people do not use it anymore for the sole purpose of its gruesome methods. The usage of using somebody's life force from their blood shortly after they have passed to bind them into another object is forbidden here. However, the Navarro family has found the facilities to do such research on the Simic coast. And from what I have been explained, the auto-bio blood binding would be mixing the inhuman with the human.
Do we hear all this?
Yes, you do.
All of us hear it?
You do hear all of this.
That is gnarly.
Mixing the human with non-human.
Yes, so say for instance, fusing somebody's shortly lost soul with
A sword.
not necessarily a sword, not just a sword,
That's too simple.
with a mesh of both biological and non-biological things.
So, like a chimera of sorts.
Like a chimera.
Like that thing that attacked this morning?
similar, but that was, for all intents and purposes, natural from where it's from.
From where it's from. Not
So,
here.
like, seeing the king alive after having killed him.
Again.
See, that is bio-blood binding. And I can tell that that has already been taken care of.
Okay.
So
bio is
bio would be living to dead. And then auto would be animate to inanimate.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I take out my sword?
Yeah, if you want to.
Are you auto blood bending?
The sword talks back to you and is like, I have no idea what that word means.
Auto blood.
Were you an animate object put into an inanimate object?
I don't remember.
Want to try him out?
Mr. Headmaster, since you
Yes.
seem to be all-knowing, could you tell me this? Ever since I met her, she's been talking to herself like a lot. Is that normal, or is there a screw loose in her head?
Oh, I'm pretty sure she's talking to the sword. It's insane, but
Talking to the sword.
Magical
Well,
items.
Oh, let me guess.
Looking
I glance back at her like sarcastically. Let me guess. It talks back?
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
It does.
People who have been
Stupid effing
attuned.
magic, I say in halfling.
People who've been attuned to a sentient magic object, such as this blade that she has, usually only can communicate with it in between each other. So this sword cannot speak out loud. It can only speak within the facets of her mind.
So this sword is attuned to me.
Yeah.
I never got your name. Do you have a name? Should I call you something?
I do not have a name. At least I
we'll
don't
think of-
think I have a name.
Well, we'll decide on a name at some point for you.
Dave.
It's not going to be Dave.
Dave.
I'm gonna
It does
call you.
not feel like a Dave.
I'm gonna call you Buck.
It doesn't feel like a Dave, so I'm not naming it Dave.
Dave.
Name it Karen because it has cutting remarks.
Oof.
I'll give you that joke, but I'm not naming it Karen either. I want to come up with something that's like really creative and like I don't know. I feel like it doesn't feel like a Dave or a Karen. I'm really weird about things that like I will stare at like a stuffed animal sometimes until I figure out the perfect name for it. And that is how I'm feeling with this sword.
Headmaster, you're talking about blood binding and all this other stuff. Is that just a really arcane version of necromancy?
Not quite. It's more. It's closer to transmutation. But it is the blurred line between necromancy and transmutation. So, imagine, if you will, if I were to die. And using what knowledge they have, somebody decides to bind me, my freshly lost soul, to an object such as the stone inside of Miss Enna's pocket.
Did you steal a stone?
He did.
First off, my name isn't Enna, it's Gwen. Second off, I don't know what you're talking about.
She stole it when I tried to take the steel scroll the first time.
I'm gonna slap both of you.
Would you mind taking that stone out, please?
I was expecting you to whip out a bird.
Well, it wasn't. It was 2 fingers.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay.
Good. So you take out the stone, you place it on the table, and he's kind of just like, why were you drawn to this item?
I don't know. It's the first thing I saw that's remotely worthwhile.
Well, I can sense that you've had a very difficult and troubling past. And this stone sensed that too.
I'm not here to be psychoanalyzed.
Just a little bit of divination, my dear.
I don't think he's asking you for permission to do it.
This stone is what's called a seeing stone. What it does is it can, when held, take the person's consciousness and have them see through the eyes of another. However, the usage of it is very difficult. And 9 times out of 10, when somebody picks this up, they usually end up seeing through the eyes of somebody else or somebody who affected them a long time ago. Could have been during a traumatic event, could have been something else.
Oh, that's
But-
lit.
Something that has been known is that people who have had traumatic pasts have been drawn closer to the seeing stone.
Okay.
You can have it.
Thanks, I guess.
Please don't cry and ruin the mood.
I'm not gonna cry, but I will stab you for even thinking I would cry.
Maybe if I told you it's not the first time I've heard that statement.
I just want to stab him a majority of the time. So I'm right there with you, Anna. I'll let you do it.
My name isn't Anna.
I feel like
Or,
that's a
no,
lie.
you said it was Althea.
When did I ever say my name was Althea? I just said it was Gwen.
You literally, when we first met, you said my name is Althea.
Yeah, when we first met and I didn't know any of you. Why would I give my real name when I don't know anyone?
I'm gonna trust Professor over here.
Her name is really Gwen.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Now-
All right.
The 4 of you have a troubling journey ahead of you.
Yeah.
Not for the sole fact that you are returning to a desolate wasteland, but there's much more.
It can't get much worse than what it already is.
Why would you even say that? Oh no, now it's going to be even worse. You
Well,
have to go and jinx it.
The tremors that have been felt around the continent have slowly started to fade, but that is not necessarily a good thing. From what I foresee, I believe that what has happened is that a long-lost soul has returned. It has ended up closing Rift. But that long-lost soul was meant to be locked away.
Uh-oh.
Immediately kind of give laughter an evil eye somewhat.
Believe me,
Long lost soul.
Maybe like a demigod?
Or, yeah.
now, You guys need your rest. I suggest you go back to bed. And he gets up from the table and starts walking to the back of his office.
I hold up the scroll. May I keep this?
I said you could.
Right.
Have a good night.
See, now I'm curious if there's anything in that room that will attract my eye. But
there isn't really anything in the room that can attract, that is like calling to you. You're just more confused about what this
is going on.
What is going on? Yeah.
Good.
So do you think by helping crud? Crud. Just crud.
Helping that dragon?
Yeah. But at the same time, he had no idea what it was either.
Yeah, but he could have been lying.
But at the same time, his soul has always been here.
We can't immediately say that it's his fault, but we should keep in mind that it is potentially his fault.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we should be skeptical, is all.
I mean, has there been anything interesting you've seen while down in the dungeons? Like, obviously you got out. Did anything else get out? Knackles?
Not that I remember. It was dark. I was lost. I was kind of in a hurry. I wasn't paying much attention. I just wanted to get out of that hellhole. Down there too long. Opportunity finally arose again. I took it and ran. You're lucky I didn't punch you on sight.
That would have been a sight to see.
What, you doubting I can do it? I punched the eye out of that thing this morning.
Yeah, I know, but at first you were very confused and holding a map upside down. You're lucky you ran into me. I helped you.
That is
You're
fair.
having such a sweet moment.
I was acknowledging
Knackles
that
had to
he
go and
was
ruin
very
it.
helpful. I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Well, we should
All right,
listen.
let's go back to bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bedtime.
Yep. You guys all get the rest of the night to sleep through.
I do not, though. I stay up contemplating what I've read and what I thought about. If I take a crossing from it, I'm going to accept that, but he's having a moment.
Yeah, you're going to take a point of exhaustion for staying up the rest of the night.
What does exhaustion do? I've never played with that.
Get 7
So,
die.
Yeah, it's like a stat thing where, like, if you have 1 point of exhaustion, you have disadvantage on all of your ability checks. 1 more point, your HP is like halved, your walking speed is halved. 3 is something else. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
It just continues on to the point where, like, if you get 5 or 6, you die.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, you can die of exhaustion, and the only way to get rid of it is by taking a long rest.
Yeah. And only 1 level at a time by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, I think there's a magic way to remove all of them, so.
Yeah, it's like...
Greater restoration?
Yeah, restoration.
So, but yeah, I'm willing to take that 1 level, because he's having a bit of an existential moment. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you all wake up. Dr. T is the one who comes in and wakes you guys up, actually, and she walks in. She's just like, "Good morning. I believe you had a eventful night."
That's one way to put it, Doc.
It's one of the calmest nights I've had in a decade, honestly.
Very good.
I mean, it was probably your first night not in a hellhole.
Yes, because the week long in a cart with you was definitely a hellhole.
Oh, I totally forgot about that cart.
That was sarcasm, but
I totally forgot about that. Okay, never mind. I did not say that at all.
Gosh.
I understand. It was honestly calm compared to what he's used to, though. And honestly, under the stars, he wasn't considering that, though. So my comment still stands. So.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're here to kick us out, Doc?
In a nicer way, yes.
That's fair.
We have...
Before we're kicked out?
What?
May we at least eat before we're kicked out?
Oh, of course. We actually packed bags of rations for you guys before you head out.
Oh, nice.
The trip from here to the Ashes is a long one. One that actually crosses through many dangerous areas. So we have packed a few bags of rations, some health potions.
Okay, how many?
We'll get to that when the time comes, trust me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh no, I hear healing potions and I'm like, ooh.
Less.
Although I think I'm like the only one who has some left.
No, I
have
still
one
have
left.
mine.
You still have one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
And we have made sure to make sure that you have safe travels out of the city.
Much appreciated.
Thanks.
Of course.
So, if we manage to fix this rift, think there's any chance of me coming back and graduating?
Considering you were only a semester away, and all you had left was your research, if you can record and synthesize the data that you've gathered from sealing the rift,
Okay.
we may give you an honorable scholarship.
Okay.
Ooh.
That
Hey, that'd
works.
be kind of awesome for you.
Yeah. My parents always did want me to go to college.
Very well. I will see you guys on your way then.
Bet.
All right. So you guys get ready. Syracuse is waiting for you guys down at the cart. And he's pretty quiet just because he's tired, and two, he just saw like a massive monster from a different plane of existence. And he's just a cart driver. So
How well did they clean up the mess?
Oh, it's still being cleaned up.
Okay.
There's some parts of it still laying around.
So
And
the
this place
smell
still smells horrible.
Syracuse, how are you holding up?
I mean, just saw a giant zombie crab.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. Words cannot describe it's all. That'd be accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one word to describe it.
I got some of its
So-
gunk.
Ew.
I would like it if you kept that away from me, please. Now, you guys are heading north?
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. To the ashes.
Something we have to be careful of is we're going to be crossing through through Elven territory.
Oh. Freaking elves.
Elves, yay! No offense.
All right.
So I do know that they don't take too kindly to travelers through their lands.
Unless you know someone.
Unless you know
We
someone.
have an elf with us.
You have two.
But you also
One of them is-
you know someone.
Right. So that is one thing we need to be careful of. And then after that, we will be passing through the Grush tribes, the plains, which we'll need to make sure we don't run into any rogue barbarian tribes.
Oh, that sounds fun.
How fun.
Right.
Other than that,
Got this.
Other than that, this trip should be fairly uneventful.
Excellent.
So,
Pat him on the shoulder and then point forward and, hi-ho, Silver, away! And then I slip back down. Kind of tired.
somebody gonna put him to sleep?
It's fine.
I mean, I can hit him on the head with something.
You hit me on the head, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Twice as hard.
Whatever works, man.
Do
And
you want to go to sleep or not?
Fine. I can sleep tonight. I wiped the dark circles under my eyes and just kind of shake my head some.
you guys get on your way.
Simon is acting like Jensen feels.
Yeah.
I personally feel the exact opposite. I'm wired, so.
Yeah.
Can I like take my I'm gonna have my sword out again.
Uh-huh.
And okay, is it
like being oiled?
I don't. Do you want to be cleaned?
Says I don't care.
Okay.
You gotta rub the sword to get it to really like you. I heard if you treat it right and oil it really well, and just you can really.
I'm gonna take the sword, swing it around, and hold it at his face.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm not trying to be an ass this time.
Shocking. I'm gonna bring it back. Okay, is the voice more like? Is it like a female kind of voice, or like is it more masculine voice, or?
It switches. It's almost like there are multiple different voices in there.
Oh God.
We're gonna die.
No,
You're
going
gonna die
to
when it
die.
possesses your body.
No, I think
We're gonna wake up one day and Kenzie's just gonna look at us and say, "We are Legion."
No, I don't even think you guys are gonna wake up. I'm just gonna end up killing y'all in your sleep.
Anna doesn't sleep. I mean, she does, but like she does the trance thing. So.
Yeah. So.
I am Squishy Wizard. I will die.
Mm.
Can I just go how many voices are there in you?
It's quiet for a second. And then in unison you hear 8 different voices say the same thing, and they're just I think 8 in unison.
Many, and we are one, for we are Legion.
Okay, do you know how we got so many different voices?
I'm not sure. I don't remember much.
Okay, I want to roll deception on my sword.
Deception on... okay, go for it.
Deception, is insight.
Okay, insight.
Yeah. 22, 23.
So, from what you can tell, the sentience of this sword, they literally don't know. They don't remember anything about themselves. They just remember, oh, I was used by this person, or I was used by this person. That's about it.
So they remember everything from when they were in the sword, but nothing from before.
Yeah.
Has any of the voices, were you used by someone who's been put into the sword?
I don't know.
What makes you?
It's hard to tell.
Are you an evil sword or a good sword?
Well, I've predominantly been wielded by people who have been fighting for the greater good of others.
All of you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Okay. I guess okay, now I'm feeling a little comfortable with you again. You just had me a little worried there at first.
Oh, trust me. I would never turn on my wielder. I'm not allowed to.
Do you know why?
I don't know. I think it's something to do with... And it just stops talking.
Something to do with...
Like it's just not talking now.
Hey, Lily. Would you mind if I put a spell on your sword? You're talking to it a lot.
Is that okay with you, Sword? I don't know. We need to come up with a good name for you.
How about Dave?
I'm not naming it Dave.
I could be one of the voices. Each voice has a different name.
Wait. Oh my god.
Each voice is a different Dave.
What's a different name?
Should I have different name for each voice?
No, because there's more than 8 in there.
Oh.
That's just how many are, speaking or sentient.
Yeah. Well,
word I
name for
cannot
it. How
say
many-
on air.
how many voices are in there?
I heard 8 at one time.
Yeah, a spell I have lets me, I can discern some significant bits of information. Do you mind?
Do you guys want to know what kind of happened?
Are you asking
I'm
the rest
asking
of the party?
sword.
Or the sword? The
Yeah.
sword is just like, well, I'd like to know about who I was before.
Yeah, let's do it.
You
We
should.
still need to come up with a good
All
name.
right, I'm going to cast
It reminds me of the story I heard
Legend
about.
lore.
Nerd means many.
Wait, what? What happened?
I'm casting legend lore
Okay,
on the sword.
so, Corey,
Yes.
you place your hand on the sword, and I want you, while placing your hand on the sword, to roll a wisdom save.
Oh,
Oh no.
her hand is sliced open and she just drops dead, and there's a 9th voice in the sword.
No, there's more than 8. There's more than 8 in there.
There's way more than 8.
Mm-hmm. Either that or she's going to be overwhelmed with all
26.
the voices.
26? You're fine. You're just really overwhelmed with how many different stories there are,
Ooh.
like, blasting at you right now.
Oof.
Okay, buddy.
Like, you see tons of wars and tons of, royalty and tons of just, like, different lives that the sword has within it.
What's it telling you, Giggles?
I'm gonna take my hand off and just go. If that sword were a person, just a single person, they'd be very, very old and most likely very, very dead. It's been involved in wars, a royal court or two. There's a lot to unpack there.
Even though your hand isn't on the sword right now, there are like little flashes that you keep seeing, like little flashes of different things happening.
Anything that I would know? Can I roll a history check?
So the thing with legend lore is that the way I kind of like to do it is if you're seeing it, you know it already.
Okay.
So you see different faces, and these different faces are all like historically like prevalent people. So like there was the heroes that united the Grush tribes. There was
somebody from the Isle of Nor, who it seems like they were like a Robin Hood type of character, almost. And the last face is this kind of striking young man, with long black hair and pretty much like a very fair skin, like flawless skin almost.
Okay.
And you sense that he's the oldest.
Okay. I'm just gonna relay all that information to you guys. But see if any of the voices remember what they look like.
Do any of you guys remember what you may have looked like?
It's quiet for a minute. And then you hear a voice and it's just like, I remember I was a tabaxi.
Name it, Dave.
I hate
I mean,
you
it's
guys.
so
I should have never told you guys
Alan
that.
gets Dave.
I should have never told you guys that.
No, our life was made better by that story.
Yeah.
It's never gonna leave me now. Now it's like Dave is gonna follow me into Corey's
Yeah.
No.
Make it happen.
No.
campaign.
Tabaxi.
So, Corey, the tabaxi that you saw was like the Robin Hood type person from the Isle of Nor. And that person was from a very long time ago, around the second era, maybe. You guys are in like the fifth.
Okay.
This person was kind of one of the people who established like the freedom of the Isle of Nor, because it used to be super dominated by Yuan Ti and more of the evil races. Not that there are any actual evil races, but more of the darker
Aligned.
powers, darker aligned people. Yes. And this was very sort of samurai-esque, but he pretty much just he like toppled an entire empire of Yuan Ti there and freed millions of gnome slaves.
I like taking the sword into the ashes. This is gonna be helpful. We'll just go with that.
Do we know why?
You remember that tabaxi who pretty much liberated the island of Nor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite to learn in history books.
He's in your sword. Dave. Dave the tabaxi.
His name isn't Dave.
It is now.
No. Again, another word I can't say while on air.
So that tabaxi's name is actually Tohiro. And that's all he's referenced as is Tohiro, because he didn't really give anybody his family name.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask, do you know of the name Tohiro?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What can you tell me about it?
You realize now that this is a different voice. I'd served him.
Yeah. Run away.
Goodbye.
So now that she is gone, we can get to the good stuff.
Yep.
Oh God.
So there's a lot of things about this sword that we'll probably have to unpack at a later date.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's fine. I'm done. I'm just surfing names right now because I really kind of want to bamble names at some point because I feel like that'd be fun.
No, that's totally fair.
All right.
I
We
know
should
it's
probably
time-
move into
Jay, but I like
recommendations.
Legion.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Sorry. I'm so sorry I kind of took that up.
Well, that's
So
okay.
you're fine.
You're fine.
Discussion.
So for Geek Recommendations, as always, we go in order when they got posted. I had you guys watch the pilot episode of Gallivant.
I absolutely love it. I mean, I watched it like months ago, but I love Gallivant.
I love Timothy Owenson. I think I just said his last name wrong, but I love him. He's great in everything he's in, and this was just hilarious.
Yeah. Simon?
Sorry, I'm writing something down. Yes, I really enjoyed this show. I liked how it was kind of, I don't want to say it was like The Witcher, but it reminded me at some points of it, but it was a lot more like comical
Yeah.
than The Witcher. So it was just funny all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Later on, there's a lizard named Dylan that
We love Dylan!
that someone thinks is an actual dragon and not just an iguana.
Nice.
Oh, it's
Wow.
beautiful. It's like
It's great. If you guys want to give your ratings.
I'll do 5 out of 5 backstabbing girlfriends.
I'm gonna go with 4 out of 5 slightly flamboyant knights. So I thought they were all little show me.
If you get to season 2, there's the Enchanted Forest where they discuss some of that.
Oh, wonderful.
I will give it a 5 out of 5 going over the king's head.
All right. Next is the Five Nights at Freddy's VHS tapes.
Not a
Five Nights at
fan.
Freaky.
Wow.
Not a fan.
I must say,
Um,
Simon, not what I was expecting when I
Yeah.
first started watching them, but I liked the grittiness of them, and they definitely feel like something that could exist in that world alongside it without contradicting anything. So
I know, that's why I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like the games are just so cliche at this point, but the story now,
yeah, many people
like that's
it was.
yeah, it's just so different. It's a different point of view. I really
I
enjoyed it.
regret not watching it when it was like dark out. I watched it in the daylight.
That's
And
fair.
I feel like that took some of the spoopiness away from it, and I kind of regret doing that to myself because
It
I
did not
love
take
it.
the spookiness away from me, and I watched it in the daylight.
The one that freaks me out. The one that freaks me out the most is the it's like the facial recognition testing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, the one where it's like they have the rabbit one sitting
Right.
there and
Yeah.
they like show pictures and its eyes are like opens real quickly and it plays a little tone if it's a criminal or not.
Mhm.
What really freaked me out is I was working on homework on my desk here, and I turned to my TV because like it's one of those kind of mounted TVs,
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
and I didn't like it because I was working on homework and I could feel their eyes on me. I could feel it, and I'm like,
Animatronics and mannequins will do that to you, even digital ones. So
Yeah, they're terrifying.
yeah, I
Molly?
don't like them.
Molly?
Sorry, I thought Kenzie was gonna say something, so I was gonna let her.
No.
I was actually surprised at how not scary it was for me.
Really?
I think it's because I was expecting, because like, I know Five Nights at Freddy's is supposed to be scary. I know this is probably gonna be scary, so I
Mhm.
was expecting a lot of it. Especially because when I was watching the second one, I knew there was gonna be a jump scare, and it didn't affect me, and that's rare. Because even when I know something's gonna happen, sometimes I still get like freaked out by it. But I was just like, oh, you are now right in front of me. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the joke. Like I was not looking at the TV at all, and the jump scare still got me.
Mhm.
I agree. Many people, unfortunately, when they think of Five Nights at Freddy's, they think of the jump scares. But if you go back to the first game, these videos capture that it's the entire atmosphere and the sound and just the unsettlingness of a robot just staring at you through a window. That's what's truly freaky about it.
Mhm.
Jump scares,
Psychological horror.
but the atmosphere of everything is what truly gets to you. Which is one reason why I think these videos are creepy. But yeah.
I think for me, it's the overall story that's implied now. So, yeah.
For me, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I thought you wanted an audience, Foxy.
Oh, that episode. Oh,
Yeah, it was freaky.
I will give it 4 out of 5 audio tests.
The audio test was good too.
I'll give it like a 4.5 because I love horror. I like being scared. I just also don't like it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping so hard I almost actually peed my pants.
Nice.
That happened 4.5 times?
No. I'm just giving it a 4.5 because it actually, like, I wasn't even paying attention to it and it still freaked me out because it was the sound and
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenzie
colors.
Peter Pan's 4.5 times.
Molly?
I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 crawl into the chest cavities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The maintenance video messed me up too, and I'm glad that it was like censored it, but I knew exactly what it was.
I actually kind of found it funny in like a detached way.
Molly's the master.
No, that's totally fine. I get it.
Next, Molly, you had us watch K.
Yeah.
I love K.
Like, I tried watching it like last Friday when you recommended this, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. And then I started watching it today, and I'm already on episode 5.
Nice.
It sucks you in.
When I looked it up, I just typed in K, and the first thing that popped up was K on, and I'm like, this isn't what you told me to watch, because I've already seen
so
this.
Cute.
Yeah, but then I actually watched it, and I'm like,
I like it. I like it. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My rating for this, 4 out of 5 cat girls.
Okay, you didn't steal it. All right. Mine would be a 5 out of 5 magical kitties.
Ow.
Okay.
Mine is a 4 out of 5 samurai high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, it's just weird because I was like looking at it, I'm like, why is he carrying a katana in a high school? Like,
why not?
He just does that.
Oh man.
Next, Kenzie, you want us to go on Pinterest and create something.
I wanted you to get those creative gears going.
Yeah. So
Do we want to do a short talk on what we did?
I'll share first. So I posted it early because I wanted you guys to read it. So I uploaded the couple chapters of a novel I'm attempting to write. It's slow going, but I would like to continue with it. And so I did post a couple of the prologue and then the 2 chapters I have done. I did accidentally post chapter 3, which is the one that's still work in progress. But so what did you guys think of it? So
I read the prologue. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I didn't get the chance to read it, sadly.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
It's still there if you want to. So
Yeah, I'll get to it. But it was just a really busy week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's one reason why I tried to post it early. So
I did read the prologue and I really like it, and I like the idea with where you're going. You leave everyone kind of on a suspense at the end of it, so it's really good.
Mhm.
Also, I don't want us to rate each other's projects. I just want you guys to kind of rate the idea,
Okay.
because I feel like that would be fair.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine is actually, I kind of cheated a little bit, I'm sorry, but it was taking a short story that I wrote for my creative writing class, and I've expanded on it.
Nice.
So Kenzie, that's why it's depressing. It's for a creative writing class, and everything in that class is depressing.
Yeah.
Well, I can
In a creative writing class right now, half of the short stories that we wrote were death.
Yeah.
I had
Who wrote
creative
a happy
writing.
one?
Unfortunately,
But-
though, Corey
One.
tried to read it and I was denied access. So
Yeah, it was being funky. But basically, all you really need to know about it, it's an amplified version of things that like happened like this last year between me and like my roommates.
Wow.
So it's just like an amplified version of that.
See, that's why it was getting to me, because I talked to you a little bit during that or after. I
Yeah.
don't really remember, but I remember talking to you and you're telling me about it. So that's why it like hit a little close to home when I was reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We all
See-
good.
So now I just made like this fake postcard
Yeah.
because I was actually part of I don't know if you guys know what this is. It's Gish.
Mhm.
It's this thing that Misha Collins from Supernatural does. It's like this massive scavenger hunt that you do to raise awareness or raise money for charity or something. And one of the items was you have to Photoshop yourself in a postcard of a place that you want to go, somewhere where you haven't been yet. And I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if we went to Peru, but I've already been to Peru. So decided to make a joke out of it and say, oh, we booked the wrong flight and we landed in Peru, Nebraska instead of Peru, the country.
Nice.
That was so cool. It made me laugh. Like that.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that it went over pretty well with the people I was on the team with. So
I painted.
oh, that's sweet.
That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Thank
Very
you.
pretty.
Wow,
Like
that's very
that.
nice.
So that's what I did.
You could also do the character you drew as well.
Yeah, but like, I actually was surprisingly very creative this week.
Yeah.
And Molly?
So I was gonna spend today being creative, but then I worked longer than I thought I was going to, so I had to speed write my poem right before this. Not gonna share it because I have weird feelings about sharing my poetry half the time, but
Hey, that's okay.
I don't know, it was nice to write again.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling when you get into
Mm-hmm.
writing.
Yeah.
Getting back into the swing.
So what would you guys kind of rate this challenge, I should say?
Oh, 5 out of 5. I loved
It
it.
was very creative.
Yeah.
And a good idea, Kenley.
It's a good time. It actually pushed me to do something instead of taking a nap. So yeah, it's a good time.
Good.
I'm
that
trying to
back-
cut back on
bring that
those.
back at some point. Like that's a good one to keep around. sometime.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think if we did something like this like once a month, that would be amazing.
Totally, yeah.
I will definitely geekamend it once a month because I am uncreative in geekamendation.
Says the probably one of the most artistic and skilled persons that way among the group.
Yeah. And finally, Corbett, you had us watch Primeval on Hulu.
It was so good.
I know,
really
right?
enjoyed it.
Did you guys
That's all
watch
I can
one
do.
episode or just the one? Curious.
I watched 2.
2 episodes.
I had time for just the one.
I think
Yeah, I only had
after
time for the one.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
what do you guys think? Please share, please.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, same. It gave off Doctor Who vibes,
I was
and
gonna say,
yeah.
I went into it and I was just like, oh gosh, I'm getting flashbacks to Doctor Who and Torchwood,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
which isn't bad because I
Mhm.
love both of those shows, but it was just a moment of, okay, so I know what type of British TV I like.
Yeah.
British
Mhm.
sci-fi is actually really good.
Another
Yeah.
reason why I'm starting to believe maybe I should watch Doctor Who. So
Do it.
I've
Do
never
it.
seen any of
Very
it.
good.
It was very creative, especially for kind of the time period it was like made in,
Mhm.
and the graphics weren't terrible
They
again
weren't
for the
terrible.
time period it was made in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would if since you guys seem interested in it, I would highly recommend continuing watching it. Only 6 episodes in the first season. I'll give a little something away. You don't see an actual dinosaur until the 2nd season. Fun fact. And in the 6th season is when a creature from the future comes through. not the 6th season, 6th episode of the first season.
Okay.
And things really take a switch right in the 2nd episode, and then things just keep getting more and more extreme from there. So I'd highly recommend to continue watching it. But yeah,
Okay.
how do you guys like
Will
it?
do.
So
Yeah.
I will give it a 4 out of 5 little green flying dragons.
Rexes?
Yes. Rex.
I am going to give this a 4 out of 5 British accents.
I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 time-shattering earthquakes.
I will give it a 4 out of 5 stick your head into the time rift, because why not?
That happens a lot. In fact, that's used to kill a creature at one point. It closes and decapitates them at one point.
Nice.
That's
Amazing.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
So for this week, I am having you guys listen to a podcast. I got this from the Let's Not Meet podcast. So shout out to you, Andrew Tate. It's called Let's Read, and it's basically the same premise. It's real life horror stories, but it's not just horror. It's also encounters with the supernatural.
I know this guy. I love this guy so much. He's so cool.
Yeah, and I only want you guys to listen to the first episode because they are super long episodes.
They are. They're
you
like
can find
3
it on
hour
Spotify.
long. They're like
Yeah.
3 hours long. And
Be
it's
like
because
my
there's like
critical
30
role.
different stories.
Mhm. But just the first episode, enjoy it. It's something you can actually fall asleep to too. So
I
just
do that all the
have fun
time.
with
Yeah,
it.
I listen to like scary narrations on YouTube all the time, and I just
I
love
don't
it.
understand people who can do that.
It's a good time.
He has a very soothing voice.
Is
That's
it
the
butter?
thing is it's
He has
people's
a butter
voices.
voice?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll go next. I have an interesting geek recommendation for you guys. I'm a little unsure of how to go about it, but I'm gonna geek recommend it anyway. I'm gonna geek recommend a webcomic to you guys that goes by the name of Darths and Droids. It is basically Star Wars if it was an original D&D campaign. And it's these
Nice.
playing through
Oh, that's so
as if it's a
lit.
brand new idea. So I'm gonna send you the first episode, the first page, which is literally the opening of the Phantom Menace, and they've gone through all the Star Wars movies. They are currently just started on episode 7. Yeah, they just started on episode 7, and they've been going since like 2006. I think this comic series has been going on. So, but yeah, I'm gonna recommend geek recommend a couple pages of that. Easy to get lost in because they're web comics, so they're pretty short. And but it's just a super fun idea because as I said, it's placed in a world where Star Wars doesn't exist. So Star Wars only exists as this D&D campaign. So it's you get there's like a cultural ripple effect that happens as well, like in the background, and then as well as in the game world itself. It's super entertaining, and it gets more in depth as the series goes along. I'll say this: you think you know the Star Wars story, but when you're reading this comic, you don't know the Star Wars story. You don't know the Star Wars story. So anyway, so yeah.
Oh, that's lit.
All right. I have mine ready.
Okay.
So mine is it's a humorous show produced by Fred Armisen and Bill Hader,
Okay.
and it's called Documentary Now. And what they're doing is they take these premise, like they like watch a ton of documentaries, or they have at least, and then they make up these characters and make them seem like real life documentaries.
Oh.
Okay.
So you create mockumentaries essentially?
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of mockumentaries, and it's so funny just because Fred Armisen and Bill Hader together are just the funniest people ever.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Bill Hader. He's so funny.
I love those so much.
Yes. It's on Netflix.
Nice.
So it's there. You guys can watch as many of the episodes as you want because I've seen most of them. But my favorites are definitely the first, second, and fourth one. They're just
All right.
so funny.
Or you ever talk to your friends about the Netflix code? Because I still don't have Netflix.
I will talk to them.
You don't have to make it urgent. I feel a little left out with all the geek recommendations being on Netflix. So I'm okay with it. If you can't, I'm not like saying, give me your code, but just you offer.
Yeah. Again, I'll talk to them.
Okay.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Molly, you want to go?
Yeah. So I actually found mine by watching Corbett's this week because it was recommended and I remember how much I loved it. So I'm gonna have you guys watch The Librarians. It's on Hulu.
I love The Librarians.
That show is on my list. I was given the original movies recently because I was told to watch some movies before watching the shows. So I still have the original movies. I need to watch them. But that show is one I want to watch. So that's awesome. I have a reason.
Christian Kane is so great in that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Never heard of
for Simon, who's never heard of it, it's actually technically a sequel to the movies, but you don't really need to watch the movies to understand the TV show. Because the main character from the movies is only like a side character for the first few season at least for the TV series, so it focuses on a different aspect of it. But it's just a bunch of people running around collecting stuff for a library.
It's one thing, but from what I've heard, it's not.
I love it.
Kind of is.
I've heard it compared like almost Indiana Jones mixed with Men in Black, kind of ish.
Yeah,
They are running around and collecting things for a library. I never said what those things were or what the library was.
That is very true.
Yeah.
So, when I watched this, I love it so much. And the best way I can describe my relationship, like with my boyfriend, is I am Eve and he is the librarian. I can't remember his name.
Flynn, isn't it?
Flynn, yeah. Yeah, no, that is literally how we are with each other it's great. Because I punch things. Oh, mine. Okay, so it's kind of like D&D, but like cyberpunk.
Okay.
So what it's called Shadowrun.
Oh, I've played Shadowrun already.
I've heard of that.
I love it. And then, so there's this podcast, and it is called, I'm looking at it. Why can I not think of the name? Like, I'm staring right at the name. Shadowrun Origins.
Okay.
The first episode is 40 minutes long, and they're kind of, you're learning about the characters and like figuring out who's playing as what. So I would like you to watch 1 and 2 of Shadowrun Origins. And the campaign they're running is Dream Chipper.
Okay.
So if we ever want to play it, I actually know absolutely almost all of the Shadowrun rules. I have like 4 to 5 other campaign like books that we can do.
And SDM.
Let's do it.
Don't take that as a bad thing. I'm just saying that's an interesting idea. So.
I mean, it's something I've always wanted to do, especially so with Shadowrun, you use D6s pretty much.
Okay.
So it's a lot easier system, and it's like cyberpunk. So there's like guns and BioWare, and it's really cool. Yeah. So
All right.
I'm excited to finally bring this to a group who might be willing to play it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm always down to play any form of RPG, so let me know and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm totally down.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, these sound exciting. I can't wait to do them. Fun.
Yeah, should be fun.
Thank you guys for joining me again this week. Thank you all for watching. And as always,
You nerd it here first.